the both genders are male and female, okay, and you don't know what's the personality the person carries who is an educator, either it's a female or a male. So I don't think it should be seen differently, but yes, it does. And I think with more information out in the world, it can be done.
Yeah, I totally agree that child safety should always come first. And, all educators should be held to the same professional standards, regardless of their gender. So, do you think that these stereotypes could discourage men from entering or staying in early childhood education?
Like, as I said, not just one this field, anywhere, when you are judging one particular area, one particular gender, or I would say like a group, it becomes overwhelming for them to, like, or the new contestant, new person to get into that field becomes more overwhelming because they feel they have to constantly prove themselves that they belong in there. Yeah. So I mean, like, over time, yes, it can become overwhelming, but I would say, like, if a female person can be a police officer, which they say is a male dominating job, why not this one?
So, what do you think childcare centers, educators, and families can do to make early childhood education more inclusive for male educators?
I think when it comes to, like, as you said, childcare centers or any professional area where a male is trying to get into this field, the stereotype should be put away first of all, because any of the gender, any of the field shouldn't be judged based on what they look like or who they are. It should be based on how they are in that field, how they're interacting with children, as is this like a childcare field, how they are interacting with parents. So the if the parents feel like kind of hesitating, obviously at first, there should be a proper communication, open communication, because at the end, either it's a female or a male, they are gonna deal with their children's, and that is one of the most important thing for the parents. It can be done like in a different way if there will be like a different, more positive approach to it.
In addition to that, we're just looking at the best interest of a child in this field, like whatever field you are. And if you could change one thing about the profession, what would it be?
I would say like one thing that can be done to make some positive change into this profession is that encouraging or bringing some more positive information out in the communities about this profession, that as if this profession is being provided by the colleges or universities for both genders, but as when you look in the classroom, man, there are very few male persons pursuing this. So I would say, like, if the community, whoever, I mean, like, whoever is studying this, regardless of whatever their gender is, if they take it as, like, as I said previously, that more of who they are, how they're interacting, and their overall personality around their kids, around the parents, it can be done very differently, and then it'll be more positive for whoever wants to pursue any career, any type of job work in the future time in this early childhood education.
I really like this perspective because it's clear that equality doesn't mean replacing anyone, right? It means, creating opportunities for everyone. But before we finish up, what advice would you give to another man who's interested in becoming an early childhood educator, but who's not quite certain about it yet?
I mean, I would say, like, without looking at any of the stereotypes that is being built in this field, just we have to start somewhere, and we have to try out that how it's working for a male educators down the road in this field, because I don't think like any of the gender should be treated differently while it comes to taking care of the children and making changes, making helping them grow in their life. like in the classrooms, out in the world, anywhere.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today about your experiences. And I believe that this conversation will help people to understand the importance of, male educators in early childhood education. And before we wrap up, is there any message you'd like listeners to, remember?
I'd say don't judge them based off what they look like, what their gender is. I mean, it should be like based on how much professionalism they are showing towards this job or any job, how much dedication and being respectful, kind towards the children, how much taking care they are about their future time. They're like how many things they are giving to them in a positive way, so they can become better, regardless of their gender, whether they are female or male. So I think that's one thing that should be done. I mean, it should be done because it's been a long time since the time has been changing. We're almost to the next planet now. So, yeah, should be. So, because every educator is in every field, every person, whoever wants to pursue anyone, anything, it should be respected. Not because who they are,
But what they can
what
offer.
they can offer, and how they can do the job like better than the other person. It can be anyone. There can be females that are working better than the other females. There are males working better than other males. Doesn't matter. So I would say that one thing needs to be changed. Everybody says that, but let's see.
I couldn't agree more that every, child deserves great role models and every educator deserves to be respected in their profession. So thank you for joining me today and thank you to those listeners to this podcast and our discussion on male educators in early childhood education has allowed us to reflect on the importance of creating safe, supportive, and inspiring environments for the children in our classrooms. So in doing so, we have seen how diversity in the classroom and within the educators truly benefits the children within those classrooms. So if we are to believe in the importance of inclusion, then the same inclusion should apply to the educators themselves. Supporting the inclusion of male educators in early childhood education is a step towards ensuring that all individuals who are passionate about caring for and educating young children have the opportunity to do so. So thank you for listening to the Breaking the Stereotype. Until next time, take care. Bye.